Dear Hot Gandalf, Lord of the Bald Multiverse and Regular Multiverse, as a fellow man who regularly thinks about women's bodies, I knew you would be the best person to give 100% correct advice to my situation. I lost my faith as a young man. Let's just say I spent my latter teen years and most of my 20s surely acting like it. It wasn't until a series of very unfortunate non-PG events that caused me to turn my life around. Since then, I have gotten sober, got a real job, got married, and am navigating my ever-changing spiritual worldview. Nevertheless, generally speaking, my life is back on track. I won't get into too many details, but years of listening to you and the other Daily Wire hosts played a big role in my redirection, except for Knowles. While I am very happily married and have a wonderfully fulfilling sex life, I can't shake the stereotypically masculine desire for sexual variety. I wouldn't even say it's a feeling of the grass is always greener. I know it's not greener, it's just different grass, and I'm frustrated because I know firsthand how unfulfilling, shallow, and horribly damaging casual sex is. Sex with my wife in the confines of marriage is better on every level, but I just can't let go of that desire for sexual variety. So I guess my question for you is, assuming I'll never be fully rid of that desire, what has been your best method for either redirecting it or at least not allowing it to take an unhealthy hold over you? I look forward to your answer changing my life, even though nobody knows if it will be changed for the better. Sincerely, Klavan is funnier than Walsh. Well, at least you got that right. So that's good. Yes, you are suffering from a terrible disease called being a human male. It's fatal, but hopefully not for another, 50, 60 years. And in the meantime, it does present you with this problem. This is a big problem, and especially, younger, but it remains with you. I'm not going to pretend that it goes away. And I can actually tell you something about it. I can tell you about it because I, too, am in a very, very fulfilling, in every possible sense, marriage. My wife is the star of my life. She just is, the sun and the moon and the stars to me, and fulfills all the roles so beautifully. Truly, she does. I'm not just saying that so that she lets me back in the house when I get home, but it's absolutely true. And yet, even today, this is a problem. So here's what I can tell you. In the beginning of my marriage, I struggled not to be swept away by other women in any moment of temptation. And I worked in Hollywood. I worked with many beautiful women. I knew many beautiful women. I was very successful. And it was that opportunity was around. And I struggled not to do it, using any trick I could, reminding myself that how destroyed I would be if anything bad happened to my marriage or if I hurt my wife in any way. I reminded myself of all those things. But over time, over a few years, I started to realize that there was a positive side, that I was struggling not to do something, but I was actually doing something. I was actually achieving something. It wasn't what I was not doing. It was what I was actually doing, the positive thing that I was doing. And that is that I was becoming a faithful man. I was actually operating in fidelity. And I started to realize that there were great joys to that. And I'll talk about that in a minute, but first let me just say that I have always found in disciplining myself that the positive aspects of what I'm doing are more important to me than the negative aspects. I'm not trying to drink less. I'm trying to enjoy life more. I'm trying to sleep better. I'm trying to be able to read in the middle of the night because I didn't have a couple of drinks before I went to bed. I'm trying not to feel bad in the morning. I'm trying to feel healthier. I'm not eating less. I'm actually trying to get healthy, to be slim and in shape and all that stuff. And the same thing was true here. I changed from trying not to cheat to trying to be faithful, because the gifts of being faithful, the joys of being faithful are insanely great. They are the joys of knowing that you are who you say you are. They are the joys of other people, the people you love and who matter to you, knowing that you will do what you say you do, that you are not hiding any secrets from them, that there is nothing particularly ugly in your life that they have to worry about, and that when you, if you're in a position, for instance, with your children, to give moral instruction, you live by the code you are telling them about. That is a huge, huge gift to have my wife know that what I say is what I mean, that I live by what I mean, that I am not somebody who is going to betray her or hurt her, is an incredible gift. And it's not just for her, it's for all the people who know me, all the people who know over time, who pay attention to what I am and what I do and what I say. My friends, even people I work with, they know that I mean what I say, that I will do what I do. That is an incredible gift. And in fact, even to you, even to the audience, you know that when I talk about morality, when I talk about marriage, when I talk about men and women, you may disagree with me, but I'm not going to be arrested, handcuffed to a bed in a Motel 6 somewhere with a girl in a leather teddy with a whip. You know that that's not going to happen because I am who I say I am, because I have lived infidelity. And so when you start to think that that's what you're trying to do, that that's what you're becoming, and you make the decision that even if you were in a locked room with no consequences that no one would ever find out about, even then you would maintain your fidelity because that's who you want to be, right? Then the decision is made. Then when the girl comes up to you in the bar, which still occasionally happens even to me, when the girl comes up to you in the bar, the conversation is already over because you know what decision you're going to make. And that makes things a lot easier. It truly does. It truly does. Still going to be a problem, but it makes it a lot easier and a lot easier to deal with. If you love this content, and you know you love this content, like and subscribe to the Andrew Klavan podcast wherever you get your podcast.